Sasol Inzalo listed on the JSE main board earlier on this morning. Joining us to talk about the prospects for this particular company is Khungeka Njobe, chairman or chairperson of Sasol Inzalo. And of course, Piru is still with me at the desk. Congratulations on your listing, Khungeka.
Thank you very much and good morning.
Good morning. And just what we were just saying, a few weeks ago, we had MTN's Akela. So this is clearly something that is happening more and more. Maybe let's just go back to Sasol Inzalo, the shares in themselves. There was a lot of questions around the debt surrounding Sasol Inzalo. Maybe tell us, has the debt been restructured? Where are we regarding that?
Maybe the place to start is to just say something briefly about Sasol Inzalo transaction. This was entered into 2008 as part of Sasol's empowerment, is part of Sasol's empowerment transaction. Sasol Inzalo Public, which we're listing today, owns indirectly Sasol capital, issued capital share, about 2.4%, and which amounts to about 16 million shares. And we've got about 200,000 shareholders. So this moment today is really big for us. It's really big for the JSE. It's really big for empowerment in general, because we're also demystifying the JSE itself for those 200, many of them ordinary people from Soweto, from the townships, from the villages. So indeed, so we're very excited to be here. Just to go back to your question, last year we actually undertook a restructuring of the debt. There are two drivers, obviously, for the performance of the transaction. One, obviously, is the value of the company, which is driven by the share price, and the other, obviously, has to do with the amount of debt. Last year, we were able to go back to the funding partners, and restructure that debt, such that if you noticed in our financials at the end of financial year 15, we've been able to get a benefit of that, about 2% savings on financing costs. We've disclosed that in detail in our finances, so people can look at the detail in that. So yeah, I mean, the transaction had quite a significant amount of debt, which is not unusual for many of these types. But we have been consistent in meeting our obligations. Our agreement with Sasol in terms of them paying the dividends and us meeting our obligations to the financing, that's been on track and it's going very well.
Right.
Mr. Njobe, I wanted to ask you, this is obviously the groundbreaking one. This is the first, and it is very successful.
Thank you.
How are you promoting this to more black empowerment groups, or finding more guys to have a look and be aware that there is an opportunity for them available in something, and also for them to understand the opportunity they have?
Absolutely. I think actually one of the big advantages of coming to the JSE is that transparency and visibility for our shareholders. Up to now, the trading has been happening on the OTC. And in fact, even before we came to the JSE, we're seeing, and I'm not sure it's because we're going towards the end, and I think we've had the track record over the 7 years, and many of the black shareholders understand Sasol is a high-quality company. And so we're beginning to see a lot of interest. There is the activity in terms of trading has been improving and maturing. We're seeing some level of consolidation, which is quite interesting, meaning that the entrepreneurial people out there are also seeing an opportunity before we get to empowerment. So I think that being on the JSE is one step in getting more people to be aware that they can participate in this transaction. We spend a lot of time in our AGMs as well. Remember, in our AGMs, in these types of transactions, it's the mother, it's the father, everybody's involved. It's the daughter who, in fact, who can read the financial statements, who's involved. So there's a lot of participation, not just by shareholders, but by their families in this. So, and we've been on an ongoing basis encouraging them to understand what it means to be a shareholder. What does our the financial performance that we present to them mean for the value of their investments? So ongoing work, 2 years to go or more, depending.
Khungeka, thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations on your listing, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of you right here at the desk.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure to be here.
That was Khungeka Njobe, Chairperson of Sasol Inzalo.